Hey y'all, hey, welcome to But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. I'm your host, G Dazzle. Some of y'all know me as G Daz, but most of y'all know me as G, your girl, your friend, and your sis who's here to keep it real with you. Now, this podcast is all about diving into life's real moments. Those moments that don't always fit into a neat little box because life isn't always black and white. And here we talk about the gray. So, both sides of the coin where two truths can exist, those yes and moments of life where you could be thriving, but also surviving, where you're out living your best life, but also life is lifing. Out here chasing your dreams, but also trying to keep your head above water. So, here we keep it light, we keep it real, and we keep it all the way honest. So you'll get some laughs, you'll get some kikis, some insights, and maybe a moment or two where you'll be like, dang, G, you just gonna read my life like that? Yes. Yes, I am. Why? Because we are all living the same life. It's okay. So whether you're out here trying to figure it all out or just trying to make it through today, I got you. Now, we'll talk about the highs, all about the lows, and definitely all the messy moments in between. So with that, all right, let's get into it. So, I recently watched the Pixar movie Inside Out 2. And let me tell you, this movie may be intended for kids, but also had a message for the grown folks. So for those who haven't seen it or want to, I apologize in advance because I'm definitely going to drop a few spoilers. And for those who haven't seen it and don't think it'll make your watch list anytime soon, here are the cliff notes. So in essence, this movie is about the internal emotions inside of us and how they develop over time and shape who we are. So in the first movie, it focuses on a little girl and her 5 core character emotions. So anger, sadness, disgust, fear, and joy. Now, joy is the ringleader of these emotions, right? And so in the second movie, it's all about the same little girl who's now a preteen. We'll call her Riley for conversation's sake, entering into the next phase of growth and development, that wonderful stage that we all know and love called what? Puberty. However, with puberty comes a whole new host of emotion characters. And at this time, we are now introduced to the new crew: envy, embarrassment, boredom, and anxiety. Now, out of this new crew, anxiety is the main ringleader. And the other emotion, Miss Joy, is not the biggest fan of anxiety at all. So we're going to fast forward. As Riley encounters a situation that Joy would normally be the one leading for a positive outcome, it quickly became a situation that anxiety took control over. So much so to the point that anxiety began to put too much pressure on Riley to overachieve, that it led to an episode to what depicted itself as a panic attack. And in order to stop the panic attack, anxiety had to release its hold on Riley, and with the help of the other emotions and joy that made up the preteen herself, they banded together with their love for her to help calm the attack. Now, when I tell you, by the end of this movie, I was bawling like a baby, all types of mascara and eyeliner running down my face. I even remember saying to my friends, like, while we were watching this movie, how much I'm going to need this movie to stop reading my life out loud like that. And as someone who manages anxiety, I never felt so understood about what the physical and mental and emotionally, all of the things that happen to me when anxiety takes over. Now, this movie made me feel seen in a way I wasn't expecting. It reminded me of those moments when anxiety is gripping tight and all you can think about is perfection, getting it right, not screwing it up or breaking it or letting people down or disappointing them. And even more so, a personal favorite of mine, failing. Now, the interesting thing about anxiety's character in the movie is when asked what its purpose was, it said to protect Riley from the bad things that could happen in the future. I'm going to pause for a second. As a matter of fact, I think I may repeat that again. When asked, the purpose of anxiety said that their purpose was to protect Riley from the bad things that could happen in the future. Baby, when that character said that, it hit me like a ton of bricks because anxiety does that, right? It reminded me of the moments of when I get caught in my head about a situation, and then what happens? It makes us think that we're protecting ourselves by ruminating, by preparing for every possible outcome, even if it's way bigger and scarier than reality. And let's be real. Anxiety loves to build up things in our heads. A small worry can turn into a giant what if spiral until it feels like the whole world is about to come crashing down on you. And I have had my fair share of dark seasons and cloudy moments where my anxiety was just peaked to the max. And it's something that I've learned to understand better over the years, my triggers, my patterns, and most importantly, how to manage them. Because here's the thing, anxiety might be a part of me, but it doesn't define me. And if you're listening to this and thinking, "Ooh, sis, you saying it? Yeah, me too." Remember, it doesn't define you either. So yes, it's there to protect us, but also we don't have to let it take control. So what's the takeaway here? Just like in the movie Inside Out 2, we all have this cast of characters in our minds, and sometimes anxiety takes the spotlight. But when that happens, it's important to remember that we have other emotions too. We've got joy, we've got love, we've got compassion, we got even a little bit of crazy on the inside. And the biggest thing is knowing that all those emotions are there on your team to support you. So next time anxiety starts building up that what if spiral, maybe take a moment, take a breath, and instead of leaning into what it thinks is happening, let's think of it from a different perspective, right? And try, thanking it for trying to protect you. And then remind yourself that you don't have to go at it alone, that you've got these other emotions who are ready to help you. And even more so, you may even have people and friends surrounding you who are there to help be your calm as well, that love you and surround you also. So just a little food for thought because baby, anxiety be anxietying sometimes. And sometimes we just need to lower the stakes a bit in our mind and not let it overtake us or consume us. So with that being said, that is a wrap on today's episode of But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. And if you feeling what you heard, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And hey, while you're at it, share it with a friend who needs to hear this. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at butalso_podcast for more real talk, behind the scene moments, and all the vibes in between. So thanks for kicking it with me. And until next time, peeps, keep thriving, surviving, embracing all of the moments, the good, the messy, and everything in between. I'll holla.